Hey guys, Elisa here. Today I'm going to be showing you another 1v1 today on the map Ulas Ravine. We have BrokenRhythm spawning as the red Protoss in the bottom left position. His opponent is Deathrow, another Diamond League player in the division that's called Argo, or Echo Argo, I believe. And that division actually has White Raw and Hydra and a lot of Moro players. But anyway, Deathrow in the top right position spawning as the blue Terran, and these positions will be cross spawn, so it really doesn't matter on Kulas Ravine, but on some other maps it makes rushing very difficult and prolongs for a more macro game. I'll be casting with Akai. Akai, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Akai joining Elisa. He did some dual casts with me for some videos from my channel, so returning the favor now, and we are going to get this 1v1 on. Actually, I wanted to get your opinion on something, Elisa, because I mean, obviously, there's not a whole lot going on right this second, but what do you think about the Void Ray and the whole phasing thing, where if you get kind of a critical mass of like 4 to 6 Void Rays, you can pretty much one-shot just about any unit once it's powered up, and then obviously with no cooldown time you can take out a very large army very quickly, it seems like. What are your thoughts? Do you think that needs to be fixed, or is that in there by design? Should it stick around, or what?
I actually talked to Broken Rhythm today, and he said he tried it, and I think they fixed it in the latest patch, but I have no confirmation yet. I also think that without Void Ray speed, they're kind of useless against Vikings, and Terran Vikings are just extremely strong against Void Rays, especially with the double pump. But one thing Protoss players can do is actually park their Void Ray when it's fully charged above the Terran starport, and that will be able to kill a Viking before it has time to run away and kite the Void Ray. But currently at its state, I think that a Terran player can just get a starport somewhere that the Void Ray cannot camp, and he should be able to take on Void Rays just fine.
Yeah, definitely. That's just something I've been curious to see what people think about it, because if you get somewhat blindsided by it, it can be really difficult to deal with. And more so, to be honest, I was thinking in team games. But anyways, it looks like Broken Rhythm actually doing a little bit of harassment with the probe here, and he almost managed to take out a couple of different SCVs, taking them right around halfway down past their health, and getting a couple more shots in. But a Marine does come out and save those poor SCVs just in the nick of time.
We see that Deathrow is actually putting down a tech lab. This is pretty standard play against Protoss, as Marauders are extremely good against almost everything. And even Immortals, if you do have a Ghost in your army, as Immortals are armored and 10 Marauders can one-shot an Immortal. And due to the range of the Immortal, it is actually really hard to get Immortals to have good surface area against Marauders, and it's really hard to mass Immortals actually. But taking a look at Broken Rhythm's base, he's going for fast Cybernex core, not opting to wall off actually, and actually getting out a quick Zealot. So that Zealot, I've seen him do this many times. He's just going to run straight into the opponent's base and start trying to pick off SCVs, ignoring any attacking units, trying to kill as many SCVs as he can.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a slight advantage like that on the econ game, especially early on, can turn into a very significant lead if you nurse that advantage throughout the game. But it looks like we do see a couple more barracks going down right now for Deathrow, so he is going to be going for a very infantry-heavy army, it looks like, at least to open up here.
Yeah, and Broken Rhythm is moving out right now. It doesn't look like he's putting down any more gateways, and I think this is because Deathrow actually had a SCV in Broken Rhythm's base. He may have wanted to just destroy the SCV before he puts down more gateways, and we see right now he's putting down his Stargate, so probably going to opt for a fast Void Ray against Terran, as that is very common, especially in White Raw play. Actually, he actually told me that he was watching quite a few White Raw plays, and I think he opens up Void Rays against every single Terran now. And in Deathrow's base, sorry about that, in Deathrow's base, Deathrow actually got 2 Maras and a Marine out in time, did some good little micro take out Void Ray, or Broken Rhythm's initial Zealot.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a quick note, too, I wanted to mention is that he did already upgrade the Marauder concussive shells to slow down Zealots, which basically makes any early Zealot harassment pretty much useless, because without the Zealot charge ability, those Marauder concussive shells just slow down Zealots so much, to the point where if you don't have any ranged units like Stalkers or Sentries to support them, they really can't do any damage against Marauders.
Yeah, right now, Deathrow is moving on with quite a small actually, but he is bringing in some SCVs. Those SCVs will be tanking for those 2 Marines and or 2 Marauders and 1 Marine, sorry. But those SCVs look like they were just able to just die actually, because all he did was take down 1 Zealot in the meantime. Concussive Shell does kick in, and he's going to be able to slowly pick off Zealots, but a Stalker comes in from Broken Rhythm. Now, if you have Zealots tanking in the back, the Stalker will be able to slowly pick off the Marauders given enough time, but right now Deathrow does have more units streaming in, and it looks like Broken Rhythm's initial army will be able to will go down fairly quickly. 2 Marauders and 1 Marine in the mix, going to be able to take that down very quickly. But Deathrow did suffer 3 SCV losses as he did bring in those 3 initial SCVs.
It looks like BrokenRhythm is getting out his first Void Ray though right now, so he's going to be able to take on this army with that 1 Void Ray. Not enough Marines to take this Void Ray down by themselves, so he is going to take out the rest of this infantry army here pretty quickly. And getting a second gateway up and running, he is just now finishing the warp gate technology. So right after these first 2 units, these 2 zealots, oh my goodness, and one of them I think got stuck. Oh no, it's not stuck, okay. It looked on my screen a little bit like it was almost stuck. I thought because he didn't set a rally point on it that it wasn't going to be able to get out of there. But no, he did get those 2 zealots out, and of course the Void Ray is now moving on an offensive push here, managing to take out one of those Marauders that was there, but trying to chase down some of the other ones. It looks like there's one more Marauder kind of out of place in the middle of the map here, so. But I don't know that he's going to be able to do anything actually in the Terran base. You can see Deathrow has already started macroing up a bunch of Marines, so he will definitely be prepared with the anti-air that is necessary. 1 Void Ray cannot take on that many Marines. He does have a second one, but it is on the other side of the map right now. So we'll see if he's able to do anything significant with these 2 Void Rays. If he combines those with the pressure of his Zealots on the ground, he may be able to cause some significant damage, but I don't know. It seems like there's a pretty good mix of Marauders and Marines to take on that kind of a threat, and there are turrets going up as well.
Yeah, and one thing to know about Deathrow's base is that he actually doesn't have a factory up, so no starport up anytime soon. This is going to make BrokenRhythm's chance in getting into his base with Void Rays very easy, as I know he can't take on the initial Marine army he has, but it's going to be able to contain Deathrow fairly well, as he's definitely not gonna surround his entire base with turrets. So it will be able to do pretty well against, so long as his Marines don't get caught out of position against those Marines. But right now we do have Deathrow moving out with a fairly large Marine force. BrokenRhythm actually having the same cost in Zealots right now, warping in just a few more Zealots. You should be able to take on this army fine with the help of those Void Rays. But if those Marauders tank the damage for those Marines, then those Marines will be able to both take out the Zealots and Void Rays very quick, as they have one of the highest DPS for their cost units in the game right now.
Yeah, definitely, and it looks like Zealots moving in here trying to take some tank damage, but in the back the Void Rays move up, but unfortunately all the Marines were able to take down those Void Rays. That did buy Zealots enough time to take out the Marauders though, and without that concussive shell, Zealots are actually pretty strong against Marines, and you can see he is backing up his existing Zealots, probably trying to buy some time because Zealot charge is almost finished and just now comes online, and you can just see how quickly he's able to dominate those Marines using that Zealot charge ability. And it looks like Stimpak has just come online for Deathrow as well, going to try to kite these Zealots back a little bit and reducing the amount of damage that his army takes, but still there's just too many Zealots, and with that charge ability online they are able to take out the rest of those Marines. But it looks like he is going to be taking down the destructible rocks near his main and go for that high ground expansion rather than expanding out to his natural on the low ground, which is exactly what BrokenRhythm is doing right now, just now putting down a Nexus to try to get his expansion up and running.
Let's pause for a sec. I'm gonna change my graphic settings because it's starting to lag. But yeah, we're gonna keep recording, so it's fine.
What time are you at right now?
11:20.
Okay, let me back up a few seconds.
I was lagging when there was a battle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I have everything on Ultra right now, which is, I think that's messing me up. God.
I was a few seconds ahead of you, so I just went ahead and put myself back so that I'm on the same page.
I'm just gonna put my video like end there, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Did it even do anything? I guess it did. Everything was on high instead of ultra. Oh. So did you end with the destructible rocks part?
Yeah, that was the last thing I said.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. It looks like BrokenRhythm right now actually moving out 2 High Templar, so the High Templar are going to be very, very efficient against Deathrow's infantry heavy army. Right now he doesn't even have a factory up, he's getting Ghost Academy right now. And doesn't look like Psystorm I think just finished in time. Yep, Psystorm just finished for BrokenRhythm. He's actually putting down a forward pylon right now as well on the Zelnaga Tower closer to Deathrow's base, and he's also expanding, so going to be taking advantage of his map control right now. Deathrow in a more defensive position, putting down 2 bunkers in the front of his base to prepare for any imminent Broken Rhythm attack. And it does look like Broken Rhythm has a slightly larger army, at least in terms of minerals and gas combined. His army is definitely kind of one-dimensional, though. He has only Zealots and High Templar, so it really comes down to how well he can micro his Zealots and how well his Storms can be against Deathrow's army. Gonna do a little bit of push, but sees the bunkers and he moves back.
We do see one ghost coming out right now for Deathrow with the ability to pull off an EMP, which he does not currently have enough energy for. But EMP very lethal against a lot of the early game Protoss units because it takes away 100 hit points worth of shields, of course, which 100 hit points worth of shields is pretty much all the shields for any early Protoss units. Even actually some of the higher tech units like Immortals have exactly 100 shields. So those hardened shields are basically worthless if you get one good EMP off on those Immortals. But also note that Deathrow is now expanding as well up on the high ground near his base, and he is now getting a factory as well. So I think that we will be seeing him possibly getting some mech units out here shortly. I would like to see him put down a starport 2 here, especially since he does have stim pack research for his infantry. Having a couple of medevacs overhead for that infantry army would go a long way to keeping his units alive on the ground.